Okay. We all set? All right. I guess we are live here. Hello, everybody. My name is Chris Salem, and I am a business acceleration strategist, business executive coach, and a professional keynote speaker. It is a pleasure to be here with you today. And what I'm going to be sharing with you today, for any of you that are professional speakers or aspiring to be a speaker, perhaps maybe you are an entrepreneur and you're looking for speaking as a way now to be more compelling and really connect with your audience, not in this case one-to-one, but one-to-many, and using it as a way to create value and help elevate your value to the people that you serve in your business. Now, we're going to have a short time together here, but we're going to share a lot of information. And again, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us here, and we'd be more than happy to address that. Now, the first thing that you should look at when you are looking at speaking as a way to grow your business, whether if you're going to, again, you're looking to just be a speaker in itself, or you're looking at speaking as a way to elevate whatever you do in your business, you have to have clarity, number one, on your market dominating position. So I'll say that again, market dominating position. So what is that? So what that is, think of it like your unique value proposition. It's not about you. It's about the challenge that overall your audience that you serve has, and the types of results that they're seeking that they currently don't have. How can you now bring that to light to then provide information that you're sharing, whether if you're sharing that through your story, through case studies, whatever that may be, that will help them to understand that there are certain things that they can do to solve their challenge to then create the results that you provide. Now, you're doing it in a way that you're not persuading people or convincing people. You're doing it from a place of influence. And that influence is that you're sharing versus telling. And you're providing this educational information that is real to your true experience. Perhaps maybe clients that you've worked with you through a case study. And by doing that through the storytelling and the connection and the engagement, you have the ability to be compelling to them. When you connect with people based upon content that is compelling to them, you're building rapport. You're starting that process to get to what's really important to them. They begin subconsciously to trust you, even though they may not know you personally yet. And by doing that, you have the ability to now to position yourself to be of value to wherever that you're using speaking as a means to grow your business or land future speaking opportunities. So again, first thing we have to look at is creating a market dominating position. It's not about what you do. It's about the problem that you cater to, the results that you could speak to that can help people to do that. That has to be evident in the title of your talk, the description of your talk, the key takeaways of your talk. Whether if you're doing this as a keynote, you're doing this as a breakout, perhaps you're on a panel or a fireside chat, or it could be a workshop, whatever that capacity may be. But it's very important that you get very clear on that, because this is the thing that a lot of speakers do not do. They just say, oh, I'm going to put my information on a Speaker Hub website or some other type of speaker source that I'll get noticed, and they'll have a title of some of their talks and maybe a brief description, but it's not really clear to the audience you serve. And this is why you can't just rely upon those resources to do that for you. Having a market dominating position that is very clear, specific, clear, and concise will help you to do that. Now, that alone, when you have that done, just because you have that on a Speaker Hub or you have it on your website, you have it on maybe other sources that, maybe meeting planners or people can find you. Now, while that is important, that in itself is not going to be necessarily that's going to get you booked. You have to do the work. You have to go out there and find these call for speaker opportunities. And you got to look at this as a process. Now, if you're looking to get paid to be a speaker and you are just kind of starting out, maybe you've spoken at libraries or chamber events, maybe something local, but now you're looking to do it on a national level. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get paid immediately. You may have to do a couple free things for certain associations. So if you're targeting industries, you may have to get involved with an association to see where there are opportunities you can contribute. You have to get to know the key players in that association, from the meeting planner to the event organizer to people that are involved in the industry. These things are very, very important. And let me illustrate a story that will give you some hope on how this works. Now, I've been professionally speaking now for over 20 years as a paid professional keynote speaker, doing all types of talks, getting paid. Doesn't necessarily mean that I get paid, to speak every time. There are situations where I had to speak for free, but knowing that was the audience I could serve and monetize at some point. So let me give you an example. I remember about 4 or 5 years ago, I approached an association that targeted radiologists. And I had worked with other doctors and dentists in the past, and I knew I could help them. Now, they didn't know me from Adam. So when I had applied originally for their call for speakers, I was rejected. Not once, but twice. But I kept coming back. They liked my tenacity and persistence. And they gave me an opportunity to contribute content to a leadership topic because I was coming from the outside, not from the inside. And as a result of that, when I was given that opportunity to speak on a virtual webinar, I did a great job and wowed them. I got great reviews. From that, they gave me an opportunity now to speak in person at an event they had, one of their smaller events, not the bigger ones, but one of the smaller ones. I also now had spoke for free at that one, and I did a great job, got great reviews. I didn't generate any business from that, nor did I do the first one. But because of the reviews, they said, people really like what you're saying. They see you as a thought leader in the area of leadership and how you could help us to lead. We're going to ask you to come back and speak at our leadership summit for our medical imaging leaders, and then come back again for our annual conference to do 2 sessions. In this case, that will be breakout sessions. Now, I did get paid to do those. And here's the thing. From that, and then 2 years later doing the same thing, I generated clients from those sessions. I generated one-on-one executive coaching clients, and I generated a keynote talk from a similar association that was in attendance. And I generated business from some medical facilities or groups that were looking for the types of things I could help them with. Now I'm sharing with this to you to give you some hope of the process. That was 4 or 5 years ago. Since then, because I started speaking for free initially, I've generated over 6 figures, far more, even more than that, just from that one event, from speaking. So I share this with you. You have to see this as a process. This isn't going to be where you're going to get paid immediately or you're going to be making big bucks immediately. You have to trust the process. But if you work it each and every day, you're going to see the magic in what we're doing here. You have to be able to understand the industries that you can serve. Now, if some of you are entrepreneurs, maybe that you target only entrepreneurs, you're not targeting industries, B2B or B2C, you're targeting just entrepreneurs. You're going to have to note that many of the entrepreneurial events will not pay speakers unless that you are a named, someone that has the credentials and is very popular that can attract an audience, then perhaps that might be different. So you're going to have to learn to monetize that on the back end. Do you have something that you can offer of value, consulting, coaching, products, services? That's how you're going to monetize those particular opportunities. Maybe perhaps that you can align yourself with a company that can sponsor you, where they see the value in your content and you align on shared values. They may pay you to sponsor you when you speak to these entrepreneurs, because perhaps you could use their logo. Maybe they have some tchotchkes you can share with some of the entrepreneurs, as long as the organizer is okay with that, for them to be sponsoring you. These are some other opportunities that you can get paid to speak. The key is always making sure to know that you are monetizing or embracing a process that is going to monetize when you talk. Here's some other little tips that can help you, especially in the beginning. Let's say that somebody can't pay you, or they can pay you, but it's not going to be to the rate that you would like it to be where you are at that time. And this still happens sometimes to me where I'm at in my career. Now, if you know that you could still serve the audience and it's still worth your while because you feel that you can monetize it on the back end over time, there's some things that you can do. If they can't pay you your going rate, perhaps they may be videotaping the event. And if they are, can they videotape while you're talking? It's always great to have video and for video clips for your social media. Well, it would cost you maybe $1,500 to $2,000 to have a videographer there full day with you to do that. Now, if they do that for you, it doesn't cost you anything. And now you can use that information. Perhaps you can get the attendee list. Now you can, send out an email to see if people will opt in for your information, and that you could add now people to your email list, to your CRM. Other creative ways that you can now somewhat begin to monetize things in the future. Now, another thing I'd like to share with you is, if you're just relying upon Speaker Hub and other sources to get noticed, it's going to take a long time. You're not going to get much from them. You got to be proactive. You got to go out there every week looking for these opportunities. And there are resources that will help you to do that. There are many speaker sources that will send out a list of opportunities each week to your email. Now, the only issue with that is they're not custom to what you do. You're going to have to go through them and see if there's anything that is applicable to you. A lot of times that those things don't really work, because they're going to send you things that really don't apply to your area of expertise. But there are resources out there, and you're more than welcome to reach out to me, because we actually do provide a resource for that, where we will customize opportunities that are specific to your area of expertise to send to you. Now you just have to go out and fill them out online and get them out there. See, discipline and consistency with this process wins the race. If you're just sitting back waiting for someone to knock on your door, call you on the phone, send you an email, those are the people that are going to be waiting a long time. You got to make it happen. You got to create your luck. You got to go out there and by knowing your market dominating position, be able to identify those events, industries, people that have shared values, that are looking for this type of content, that are going to be the people that you have to be consistently in front of. And not only through, when you speak, but also through social media. Are you posting content, sharing information about what you talked about at a prior event or a conference that you spoke at? These are the things that are going to connect the dots that lead to the bigger opportunities that you seek. You got to think of this like a puzzle. If you have 100 pieces and you only have 12 pieces, well, you have to focus on the 12 pieces, trusting the process over time that the other pieces will come into your possession to connect them to lead to accomplishing your puzzle. Think of it along those lines. Here's another example. I recently spoke for Oracle, Corporation Oracle. They're one of the largest IT companies in the world. Now you would say, well, how did that happen? Did they just call you out of the blue? Did you call them and you asked them if you could speak for them and they said yes? Well, I wish it were that easy. Question is no. It was a process. I can trace back that opportunity back to other things that I did from 5 years ago, that if I spoke at that event, maybe it was free. And then that led to somebody in the audience I connected with, that led to another connection, that led me to speaking at another event where I got paid. And that led to an introduction to someone that I met at that event, that led to another event that I spoke at. Then that person in the audience was somebody from Aura. See, that's how it works. And these are the things that are going to be the difference of being where you are to where you desire to be. There's nothing special about like, hey, Chris, you got the magic touch or you're lucky. No, it's a matter of creating your luck. So I'm sharing some things right now that can help you to do that. Now, is there more things to this? Yes. And I can't possibly share everything here on this particular talk, but these are things that I'm happy to have a discussion with any of you that are serious about taking your speaking to the next level. It doesn't matter if you're an NSA, National Speaker Association, if you've done TED Talks before, because there are many people out there that are in those groups or have done TED Talks, but still are struggling to find a process or a path to get them to get noticed, to get paid to speak, and then monetize their business as a result of it. You have to understand the process. You can't just rely upon these things that you've been you thought would be the resources that would help you to get these opportunities. I'm just here to tell you that's not going to be in it itself. You got to make it happen. You have to be disciplined and consistent in working this process to open up new doors that will then open others, and then lead to these bigger opportunities. Now, for some of you, you might be looking at speaking as, hey, I'm not looking to speak on a national level, or I'm not looking to speak on a global level. I'm not looking to become a Hall of Fame speaker. That's okay. Whatever you're striving to do, play to that level. Maximize it. It means that you're going to stay local. How many chamber of commerces are you reaching out to? How many Rotaries are you reaching out to? Well, I'm just waiting for people to call me. Well, that's not going to work. And a lot of Rotaries and Chamber of Commerces may not be able to pay you, but if you feel that you can monetize it to the businesses that attend, then that's another story. You have to have a plan, a plan of action. And again, going back to where we started, that starts with the market dominating position. What is the challenge that is out there? What are the results that your audience is seeking but does not have? And how can you educate them by sharing through storytelling, through engaging them, through case studies? That is going to allow them to see where they can solve their own problems, to create solutions. And you are the trusted advisor, the resource to help them to see it. Those are the things that are going to get you noticed. Those are the things that are going to get you booked, and on a consistent basis. You just have to know the process and the strategy to go about doing it. Now, I'm just sharing you some of the things just to give you a macro view of this, a tip of the iceberg, to at least let you know what has to be done. So this way you're not wasting your time, doing all these things. You have to be able to take responsibility to go out and do this for yourself. Now, another thing I like to talk about is speaker bureaus. Now, speaker bureaus up to this point are necessary only for keynote speaking opportunities. A lot of industry events, B2B, B2C, companies, corporations, could be charities. A lot of times we'll go to a speaker bureau to look for a keynote speaker. Any other type of speaking, like breakouts or regular talks or panel discussions or workshops, that type of thing, you could do that direct. Now, but I am seeing now some organizations, even companies, that are going direct now for keynotes. So you're going to see that now phase away. But it's still good to know about speaker bureaus. Now, they're going to be speaker bureaus that are going to be exclusive. and they're going to be ones that are non-exclusive. Now, it's not that you can just join a speaker bureau and sign up and someone's going to pick you up. They have to look at you and see, are you qualified or someone they want to bring in that they know that can place where they can also generate money. So you have to build up to that. You're just not going to just join a speaker bureau. And when you join, if you do get picked up by one, usually the exclusive ones are playing at a high level. You are a proven player. You're a proven player in your industry. And oftentimes when you do an exclusive, the bureau owns you for that year, meaning that if you even go talk somewhere else that they didn't get involved, you still have to pay them. So you got to be very careful. You got to make sure that that bureau is going to be able to place you, because if they're not, now you're held captive under that agreement. I like and prefer non-exclusive speaker bureaus, because this way, even if you place yourself direct, you don't owe them anything. They're responsible for placing you, and that's when they get paid. But you have to know which ones are going to be worthy to work up to. But like I said, you got to build up to that. And as you do, and you build that credibility, and you get those reviews, and those reviews are consistent, these are the things that are going to move you forward. Now, I know each and every one of you that are listening, or maybe listening later, you all have a compelling story. We all do. Don't let imposter syndrome hold you back. You all have a gift, something to share. The question is now is you've got to tie it to a problem and to results that they seek. If you like, hey, I'm going to talk about my story and talk about how I increased my confidence and I help people to increase their confidence. Well, that's wonderful. But that in itself is not going to be the answer. If you can't tie that to business results or results that are so important to people that they're willing to pay you to help them, then that's all it will be, is just great information. So you got to get clear on the market dominating position. And again, how can your business indirectly or directly help them in a capacity that they're willing to pay you? I can tell you right now, speaking has, dramatically improved my revenue over the years in terms of my business executive coaching, my business acceleration strategies, revenue acceleration strategies, where I help businesses scale, helping to raise their business valuations with that when they time to exit, they can make more money than they would have the other way around. Speaking has allowed me to do that, and it can allow you to do it too. You just have to be patient. You have to be a student to absorb information and know how to learn to work the process. Now, if any of you are really serious about doing that, you can reach out to me at chris@christophersalem.com or chris@sustainablesuccess.net, and I'd be happy to share some more insights. If you have any anything specific that is important to you, by me knowing what that is, I'll be able to shed some more insight that can help you in order to, put you down the right path of where you decide to go. I just encourage everybody here watching or will be watching, share this with someone. Speaking is going to be speaking is one of the number one ways, again, that you can speak one to many to create impact. And I always like to end that what speaking can do. There are 5 areas of impact. You provide insight to people, not only with your storytelling and the intellectual intelligence that you're sharing, but you're also providing emotional intelligence. You're giving off empathy and kindness. You're connecting with people on shared values. They remember how you help them to feel in that moment. They're going to remember that. That will help them to look to possibly to do business with you in the near future. It provides initiative, meaning that you are proactive because you're providing information that is helping them to solve a problem or a challenge and to create the results they seek that they currently don't have. You're influencing them. You're not persuading them or convincing them. You are empowering them with information to draw their own conclusions. So when they decide to, perhaps work with you, they're jumping in to be part of that experience, which is more likely to yield the results they seek. And you're doing it with impact. You're not doing it just with impact in how you engage when you're on the stage or virtually, like we're here on video, but you're doing this through your social media, through your content, through your networking. It's consistent. That market dominating position is shining through every time, not about you, about what's important to them, building rapport and helping them to solve their challenges. And finally, you're doing it from integrity. You're doing it from a place where you're doing the right thing when no one's looking. You're doing it what's going to be best for the people that are your audience that you serve. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to be on this today's live stream, and those that will be watching later. I want to wish everybody much success in 2023. Speaking is the best way to elevate your business. Learn to get paid to speak and learn how to use it as a resource and platform to shine through, to share your message, help people help themselves, help businesses help themselves, and for you to grow your business to levels you've never imagined. Thank you, everybody, for this opportunity. And again, feel free to reach out to me at Sustainable Success Coaching and Consulting at chris@christophersalem.com or chris@sustainable